So ideally, you would want to have your terms and conditions built into that direct debit
If you can, 100%.
process.
Yeah, if you can.
If you can't do that,
Yeah, 'cause
again, you can just use Jotform.
I think some systems don't allow you to.
Yeah, but you definitely
integrate it.
should have an electronic terms and conditions form.
Correct.
Not on paper, not non-existent. Need to have
Yeah.
it. If you want your clients to behave a certain way, I put this post up, and it was actually more subtle than what I
Intended?
thought at the time. So it was a early 20s, let's say, very attractive female in her car who put up blaming your coach for your lack of outcomes when you're not doing what's required or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I was triggered so fucking to put it in perspective, there was the Wednesday after the podcast that I'd left here because Indy was sick and I was sitting out the front of the vet. So I was already fucking
Yeah, you're fucking right.
wound up.
Yeah.
And then I saw this, I was like, fuck
Ready
this bitch, I'm coming.
It's fucking Thursday's coming fucking early, guys.
But if you're expecting behavior from clients, like being there on time, like 24 hours notice to cancel, like 2 weeks notice periods, like to pay you when you're sick and when they're sick, like what happens on holidays, like all of these fucking things, and you don't have a formal, professionally delivered terms and conditions agreement that lays this out for them, you're fucking kidding yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect that from people and not have it in place.
Yeah, I think what other people miss is they don't actually just act in a way that encourages that behavior themselves.
Well, yeah.
It's like they're not punctual.
Yeah.
They miss deadlines. Like there's just, like they have a really relaxed kind of way of doing things. So how can you expect the opposite?
It's interesting when you see, obviously, we're in the sales. Well, I'm in the sales role for Standout PT. And you have personal trainers come through who take 24 to 48 hours to reply, who ghost appointments and calls and shit.
Change things last minute.
Who, get scared post agreeing, who don't show up to what they're supposed to show up to.
Yeah.
All of those types of things. And then it's like you see the content and it's like, oh, you won't pay for personal training. It's like, well, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't pay to
Yeah, won't invest in yourself. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
My client fucking didn't show up on time. It's like, well, you don't.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Or my
to
client
see this
didn't
mirror.
show up for their PT and this person doesn't show up for their business.
Yeah.
It's There's
my client didn't
brick
fucking
wall.
check in, which is coming the data tracking later.
Yeah.
It's one of the lines we use in the seminars. Like, you expect your clients to track and you don't.
Yeah.
It's just one's macros and the other's money.
Yeah, people just don't understand the parallels between
It's
business
so
and
interesting.
training. Yeah.
And you could go down that rabbit hole of well, that's mirroring. That's why you're upset, because what you see in others that triggers you is probably. So maybe I was mad at myself, not that girl. Sorry.
Sorry, you stranger.
Yeah. Because I actually, ironically, maybe upon reflection, I'm not sure. I actually, and this is a bit off topic, but it's worthwhile. I'd actually noticed a decline. Moving to my strength book, saw a sharp increase in check-in adherence.
Yeah, I have to.
Then it went away.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, what's happened? My passion, for lack of a better word, recently has been get me the fuck off Instagram communicating with my clients.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I was making so many mistakes, losing shit, forgetting shit. Because I'm I'm open and at my office is far away, whatever. There's too much noise happening here. I need this information to be somewhere. But there was too much friction for my clients with the chat the way that it is right now in my FitnessPal. In my strength book. No notifications. Yeah. It's a bit slow. It's not built to be a communication app.
Well, it's not yet.
Yeah. It's coming. And they actually sent an email out yesterday that's on there, very high on their to-do list, is to solve those problems.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll take fucking personal responsibility.
Yeah.
People aren't checking in, which means they're not valuing it, which means there's too much friction, which means I need to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And all I said in the group was I've noticed this. I know you guys feel a lack of access to me as well. I'm proposing the idea that we move somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't use WhatsApp other than work.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
I wasn't using it at all, aside from communicating with MA because they use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, there is a platform designed to be effective at chat that has a desktop function that I can also have on my phone that I can turn notifications off completely outside business hours. But I can also, because like now, my thing was I'll have my strength book open on my computer. I still don't get a notification.
Yeah, agreed.
And I can only look at it on my computer. Whereas WhatsApp, I can finish today, and hey, if I've got a message from a client, I can reply.
Yeah.
But I can keep that inside the windows. So I put like double tap the option you prefer. Yes, I want it, let's go. B, bit annoying, but I'm willing.
Yeah.
C, fuck that. 100% opt-in rate in a day.
Yeah, nice.
It was like, okay, so instead of complaining that people aren't checking in,
solve the
message
problem.
them, because I've done a few things like everyone seems a bit flat. I've sent out Loom videos to the whole team in group chats.
Yeah.
Everyone seems a bit flat, not hearing from everyone. I'm going to touch base with you and set some goals, and then like that doesn't really get anywhere, and it's all a bit clunky. It was like, okay, what's the thing? Well, that changed. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Just taking that personal responsibility. I know that's
But
now that'll
still-
be in my terms and conditions. Communication through WhatsApp.
And then they'll go and change the chat function, actually make it work.
And I'll move everyone back. Yeah. Which I've already done twice. But anyway. A welcome to coaching and how to start guide video. So Loom is very cheap, if not free, I think, for this
Yeah, I think it's
functionality.
free.
Where you
Just
record your
short
screen.
videos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Free? Yeah.
Record your screen, record your face,
Yeah.
record.
Do the thing.
Here's how
explain the
everything
thing.
works. This is
Yeah.
your program. This is your check-in.
Yeah.
This is
This is
your
your
whatever.
diet, this is nutrition, whatever, if you guys do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be answering those questions 400 times. And your client should, we were just discussing about some things that we want to change with our business, like an automatic return. So when someone they buy the dream outcome, they want to experience a feeling immediately when they purchase.
Yeah.
So that feeling immediately is like, wow, this is way better than my last PT.
Yeah.
This is way better. This is so simple. This is made for me. This is whatever, like some kind of experience. It's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
I love this. Like I had one yesterday who, I know it's so funny because like you're like, oh, our recipe book's not that good. I put a client on my strength book.
Yeah.
Hadn't sent their program yet.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, got a photo of your stir fry recipe
Yeah.
and a photo of what she was eating, and it was fucking identical.
Wow.
And she's like, oh, these recipes are great. I'm like, oh, there's heaps more coming because we didn't like them.
Yeah.
So it's just like that experience. So like she doesn't even have a program yet.
Yeah.
She's just in the app
It's
and she's
awesome.
like, oh, recipes, curious.
probably
Bang,
good.
fuck, I'm doing this. Awesome.
They're probably awesome. We just have seen them for the last 8 years.
Yeah, they're just dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really important. So again, if you want buy-in, so this is where it comes back to retention too. So people miss that first week and how important it is for outcomes.
Yep.
Your job as a personal trainer is to get a result, and that's why you got in it. If you ask any personal trainer, like, oh, I want to do it because I help people. You also want to make money, be honest.
Yeah, of course.
But you'll lead with, I want to help people. Not having all of this stuff, the T's and C's, the welcome video, the how-to, is creating friction around getting started. If you don't remove that friction and get that ball rolling really smoothly early, the momentum's really hard to pick up. The retention's going to be low. The buy-in's going to be low. The execution's going to be low.
Yeah, I agree.
Which means no client result and no money.
Yeah.
This one only came up with recently because we've never had to actually do it. And that's creating your own admin email address.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's an easy, it's not an easy out. I think what it does is allows the trainer or the business operator to just have a conversation that could potentially not be prepared for at a different time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like someone comes up to you in your face-to-face session. It's like, oh, this happened. I got to do this. I'm going to travel. Blah, blah. It's like, one, you got to remember that. Two, you got to try and jot that down somewhere. Then you're probably going to go off and train Greg and Karen and Susan, afterwards. You'll probably forget it. Then this person, it's time sensitive. They get pissed off. The experience is shit.
Came out,
Yeah, it's like, oh, I said I wanted to be on suspension, whatever. It's like, just email admin and we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can sit down, dedicated time, go through all of these important emails and service them with minimal friction.
Yeah. It also allows you time to go back through your T's and C's and be like, hey, this is our agreement.
Yeah.
So this is what I propose we do, and it gives you a place to be calm and focused on
Yeah,
that and
you're
create
not
a
making
discussion.
an emotional decision, because a lot of people, like, we all want to avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
Like, as confrontational as people think I am, I actually want the
Don't
complete
like it,
opposite. You know, and I know there's been instances where I've just acted out of like friction reduction,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I need to remove this potential situation as soon as possible. And I've just said something to appease them.
Yep.
But it's gone and fucked me.
Yeah.
When it like, and I've been kind of put out when we both kind of agreed that this is the agreement and this is kind of how things work.
Yeah.
So it avoids that situation. It avoids you making a irrational decision. And you can kind of sit down and, you know, it kind of like, there's just a little bit to having like an admin email too. You know,
I think
can remove
it
your face from it a little bit too.
I think it changes, even if your client knows it's you, it changes the discussion dynamic.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no. We've moved from sick biceps, bro, on Instagram or whatever your chat function, even if it's WhatsApp, like, hey, you're fucking smashing it this week. Well done, blah, blah, blah. To then like, hey, I need to suspend for 2 weeks. It's like, whoa, that needs to go here because this is a formal discussion that we need to have in writing and we need back and forth.
Paper trail and stuff. And whatever.
So it just changes the element of how that discussion is approached from both parties.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really valuable. And it'll save you a fuckload of time and mean you make less mistakes.
Yeah.